welcome to the finale of Around the World with Operation Smile student programs. My name is Sanjna Velugoti. I'm from Alpharetta, Georgia, and I'm here with Madisyn. Madisyn, could you please tell me about yourself? Where are you from and where do you go to school?
Hey Sanjna, so my name is Madisyn. I am actually from Virginia Beach, Virginia, so where Operation Smile was founded. But I currently go to school in Columbia, South Carolina at the University of South Carolina as a nursing major. So that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, very cool. What year are you in?
So I'm actually about to start, I'm graduating early, so I'm about to start my senior year in January. So I have a year left, which is really exciting.
Very cool. How long have you been involved with Operation Smile?
So I was sort of involved in middle school just because it's in the area. And then in high school, I joined the club there, the Operation Smile Club, and wanted to kind of get more involved into like behind the scenes of Operation Smile. So I served on the Regional Leadership Council in high school and did that for a while. And then once I graduated, I went into college, and my school did not have an Operation Smile Club my freshman year, but it was in the works. And I'm sure many people can relate, starting a club is not that easy. There's a lot of red tape that you have to go through. So we finally got it kicked off at the end of my freshman year in college. And I served on the executive board there. And then I'm currently the president of the Op Smile Club there. And then I'm also on the College Leadership Council now. So that's what I'm doing so far, but that's where I kind of got started, was just because it was a local organization.
Wow, very cool. Like a lot of years now.
Yeah, yeah. It's worth it though.
Because, you're from Virginia Beach, does that impact you kind of? Is it like a widely known thing in Virginia Beach?
I think for sure. And I actually was in school with the McGee's grandkids in middle school briefly. And so I think that because their grandkids went to my school, it was kind of just an organization that was made aware of. And our school partnered a lot with the club and fundraising and stuff like that. There's a dodgeball tournament that we have annually here, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard of. But so we did that. And I think just because I was like, oh, this sounds cool. I didn't necessarily know the whole in-depth detail about it in middle school, but I was like, oh yeah, this would be fun to help give back. But I didn't really get plugged in, I would say, until high school.
Very cool. How did you find out? Well, we kind of answered this already through, the school in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Very emphasized over there. Are you currently working on any tasks with Operation Smile?
Yeah, so this is my first year serving on the College Leadership Council, and there's a lot of different initiatives that we're trying to start with COVID going on right now in the world. So we're trying to just work behind scenes, and we have a couple projects that we're working on. There's a mask team that we have. We're trying to send out facial masks for speech pathologists on mission trips, which I think is really interesting because you don't realize how much having to wear a mask impacts the medical speech pathology field. So we worked on that a little bit this year. And then I'm also on the Dignity Project, which was an initiative that we started in January. It's a pilot program that Operation Smile is currently doing. And it's sending out a group of students on a mission trip, still in affiliation with Operation Smile, but also with another profit organization called Days for Girls. And they create these little sanitary bags and reusable sanitary products to send out to local areas that are in need of it. And so it's really cool to have this women's health initiative in coinciding with Operation Smile, because you don't realize that there's always more that we can do. So we started that, and I was training for that in January, but we have yet to go on a mission. But I'm super excited for when that comes, because it's something different that we're going to try.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
To causes that are not necessarily linked, but can do so much for so many people who don't have those resources. So that's very cool.
Yeah, for sure.
What was your favorite thing about being a volunteer for Operation Smile?
I think the coolest thing about Operation Smile is that you get to see the work that you put into an organization, you get to see it come full circle. And I feel like that's really rare for a student, any age from elementary to college level, to be able to say that what they do towards an organization, actually they get to see the outcome. So I think the coolest thing is just that you Operation Smile encourages its volunteers and students to go on mission trips, so you're able to see in real time what's happening and what you're working towards. I think it's so unique about the whole organization, for sure.
Exactly. I kind of said the same thing in my portion, where, there's so many different diseases out there, but with Operation Smile, it's kind of like an attainable solution.
Yeah.
That you put in this much work and you have the resources and you have the money, you can go find the solution, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So I was very intrigued by that aspect of Operation Smile. Do you have a favorite memory you'd like to share with Operation Smile?
Yes, this is my go-to story, because every time it's like the one thing that I automatically think of. So on my first mission trip was to Ghana in 2018, my senior year. We were at the patient waiting area before the screening process, and you have all these kids running around and you're coloring with them, like trying to just get them like kind of distracted while they're waiting. And there's this one kid who I kind of noticed in the corner, like away from the playing area, that he just was not really wanting to come and interact with other people. And I noticed there's a couple medical volunteers that are trying to get him into the screening process, but he just was refusing to go through it. And he was with his grandmother, and he was super young. He was probably 4 or 5. Okay. And I saw him and I was interesting. I was it's probably not my place to go interrupt, because there's other staff over there trying to handle what was going on. And I was okay, I'll just leave it. And then I was no, I'll just go bring him a toy over there and maybe keep him occupied that way and distract him. And so I was over there and I was trying to bounce a ball, and he just was not having it. And then I rolled it towards him to see if he wanted to take it. He took it, and he looked at me, and I was hi buddy, what's up? And he didn't speak English, and a lot of the patients there fortunately did speak English, so the communication barrier I hadn't been introduced to up until this point. And I was told by the grandmother, who was translated by the staff, was that both of his parents had passed away recently, and so he's lived with his grandma, but he was originally from an area that just spoke a completely different dialect than anybody there, so nobody could understand him. Not even his grandmother could fully understand his dialect. So you can just imagine the isolation that you can feel by not, and the frustration by not understanding anything, and fear of what's going on, all these strangers around you trying to pull you into this process. And so I ended up bonding with him really well, and I actually stayed with him the entire screening process. And it was just really cool to see that you don't need to speak the same language as someone. All that you need to do is just literally, and it sounds so cheesy, but literally it's just give them a smile and be kind and patient, and that will take you so far, not only in this program and Operation Smile organization, but just in life, is that you don't need to say the right words all the time. You just need to be there for people. So that was my favorite story, and his whole surgery process was amazing. And I didn't think I was going to see him on the last day, because I ended up getting sick on the trip, but I ended up actually seeing him the very last day that we left, and it was really cool just to see that transformation in somebody.
That's so lovely. Such a powerful message too. It's not always verbal communication, but the nonverbal communication, the emotions, that's what really impacts people and speaks volumes.
Yeah, for sure.
What is your biggest lesson you've learned with Operation Smile?
I'd probably say to get involved in an organization that's really gonna push you to just want to come back for more. And I, of course, am a big cheerleader for Operation Smile, because I really do think of this program. I think anybody, I was saying, anybody can relate to smiling. That's just a given thing that a lot of people have, and you don't think about it. And so to see people in situations where they can't do that, or they are hidden away because of something that they were born with, it's really eye-opening. And I feel that's what's so cool about Operation Smile, is that anybody who gets involved, I have not heard one person who has got involved and been okay, I'm done for a year. You come back for more. So I would just say really get plugged in, and there's so many different ways in different levels of life to get plugged in. So for sure, I agree with that.
And with the so many years that you've been involved, I'm sure you're aware of the so many opportunities that Operation Smiles provides us. We can do a lot for the organization, but they do a lot for us. And that versatility it goes a long way with learning about the organization, learning about yourself in the process.
Yes. For sure. They have the student programs website. They have the student program social media. There's also Step Up that's coming up for college students. So if you're in college, get plugged into that. ISLC is another really cool conference to go to. So if you've never even been introduced to Operation Smile, just hop in one of these conferences and you'll see what it's all about.
Definitely. What does Operation Smile mean to you?
I think Operation Smile has been a big part of my life in the past couple years, and I don't when I think about it, I don't necessarily point it out as being one of the top things, but I think that it's just given me the opportunity to be involved in something bigger than myself. And that's something I think a lot of people want in life, is just something bigger than themselves. And this is such a neat way of doing it. So I don't know, Operation Smile, it means a lot to me. I'll say that. It has meant a lot to me in the past couple of years, and it's taught me a lot about myself and what's important in life and what you should really value. So, yeah.
Definitely a perspective changer.
Yes.
What would you tell other students who are just getting started with the organization?
So I would say getting started with the organization, definitely if you have a friend that's talked to you about it before, or you've heard about it through social media or whatever, what have you, just take that leap and just go for it, and just go to, if you have a club at your school, go to a club meeting. If there's a fundraiser going on locally, participate in it. And like I said, you can always reach out to student programs on the Operation Smile student programs website, and there's a contact information that you can reach out. You can reach out to your local college leadership council member or your regional leadership council member. There should be point of contacts provided for those. So just reach out, and I promise you somebody will reach out back to you and give you something to do. So
definitely. As a more newer member of Operation Smile, the student programs and the student associate directors, there's so much help, and without mine, especially, I wouldn't be with, the kind of success that my club has done. And so I'm very grateful for that, very communicative type of group.
Sure.
For you, what's next for your Operation Smile journey?
So hopefully we are going to do the Step Up conference for college students in January. It's virtual this year just because of COVID, but we have a lot of people signed up, which is awesome. And so that's probably the next step for us currently, me personally, and then just continue to work on some of the new initiatives like the Dignity Project and the MASS team and stuff like that. Just trying to get the ball rolling this year, just with everything coming our way, figure out what we can do, the best we can do, and then eventually another mission trip. We'll see what happens.
Yes, that'll be exciting. And one bonus question for you specifically. Since you're a nursing major, I know that kind of relates to, what Operation Smile is about. How do you think your experiences with Operation Smile has provided you an advantage in that career path?
So it's funny too. So the high school that I went to was a medical academy, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, Operation Smile Club, that would be really good with the students here. They'd want to get involved. And I had gone into college, before I went on my mission trip. I was like, when I go to college, I'm gonna be a nursing major, and I'll figure out what I want to do from there. And on my mission trip, I shadowed the anesthesiologist for a couple hours in the surgery room, and I just fell in love with anesthesia because of that experience. And just with the idea of being in an OR room and aiding in that sense. And so now in college, I am going to finish my nursing degree since I started it, but I don't know what I want to do after this. I'm thinking anesthesia, so either nurse anesthetist is what I'm kind of thinking. So it's kind of crazy how indirectly they both influenced each other. I do think the cool thing is that if you are interested in medicine, this is a great way to get plugged into an organization, because you do get to go, most of the time when you go on a medical mission, you are able to see the surgery. It's not promised, but it could happen. And so you get to have that experience and shadow the surgeon, the anesthesiologist, and the child life specialist before the surgeries. But also, if you're not even interested in the medical field, there's so much other ways that you can get plugged in, because I also got trained to be a U-Voice leader, which is a journalist storyteller for Operation Smile on a mission trip. So if you're interested in writing, that's another great way. Or social media, you can do shadowing at or internship at headquarters. So it is cool because of course, it's great to be in the medical field. That's where I'm headed. So I definitely will work with Operation Smile in the future. But if you're even not doing medicine, there's other ways you can get plugged in.
Definitely. I agree. Well, thank you so much, Madisyn, for being part of this. And
thank you for your time and for the interview. I appreciate it.
Of course. And everyone watching, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Bye.